Some houseplants don't just decorate your space, they actually grow old with you. I'm talking about plants that stick around for decades, not months, even if life gets busy. These are the kinds of plants that survive missed waterings, changing light, and new apartments. People don't realize some common houseplants can live 20, 30, even 50 years indoors. They slowly adapt to your home and become part of your daily routine. If you want plants that feel permanent instead of disposable, this list is for you. No rare care tricks, no high-maintenance drama, just long-term green companions. Let's get into the 16 longest-lived houseplants that can truly grow with your indoor garden. Monstera is one of those houseplants that quietly turns into a lifelong companion if you give it basic care. In indoor conditions, a healthy Monstera can live well over 30 to 40 years, and in some documented cases even longer, because it grows from a strong, slow-aging stem system rather than a short-lived crown. What makes it last so long is how adaptable it is to indoor light, thriving in medium to bright indirect light without stressing if conditions change. It does not demand constant watering either, since its thick aerial roots store moisture and help it survive missed waterings without damage. Monstera leaves also regenerate steadily, meaning older leaves may age out while the plant itself keeps growing upward and outward for decades. Studies on tropical aroids show they maintain steady cellular growth over long periods when grown indoors, which explains why Monsteras mature slowly instead of burning out fast. With stable temperatures, basic feeding, and occasional pruning, this plant does not peak and decline like many decorative houseplants. It just keeps going, growing larger and stronger year after year, making it one of the most reliable long-lived indoor plants you can own. Umbrella plant is one of those classic indoor plants that proves its value over time, not just in looks, but in longevity. When grown indoors, a well-cared-for umbrella plant can easily live 25 to 40 years, mainly because it develops a woody trunk that strengthens with age instead of breaking down. This plant is extremely forgiving with light, handling bright indirect light but also surviving in medium indoor lighting without slowing its lifespan. Its thick stems and leathery leaves help reduce water loss, allowing it to handle occasional missed watering without stress. What really helps it live long is its steady growth pace, since it does not grow too fast or exhaust itself trying to bloom or fruit indoors. Research on woody houseplants shows they age slower indoors due to stable temperatures and lack of seasonal shock, which works in the umbrella plant's favor. With simple care, regular trimming, and consistent indoor conditions, this plant can stay healthy for decades, often becoming a tall, tree-like fixture that outlives trends and moves right along with you from home to home. Fiddle Leaf Fig is known for its dramatic look, but what most people don't realize is how long this plant can actually live indoors when cared for right. In stable indoor environments, a healthy fiddle leaf fig can live 40 years or more, mainly because it grows from a strong woody trunk, rather than a short life stem. Its large, thick leaves are designed to last, often staying healthy for years before naturally aging, which means the plant keeps its structure instead of constantly replacing foliage. This plant thrives in bright indirect light, and once it adapts to a consistent spot, it becomes very resilient to routine indoor conditions. Its slower growth rate indoors actually helps extend its lifespan, since it conserves energy, instead of growing too fast and weakening over time. Research on indoor ficus species shows that steady temperatures and controlled watering significantly reduce stress-related aging. With regular pruning, consistent light, and proper watering habits, the fiddle leaf fig doesn't fade out after a few years. It matures into a long-term indoor tree that can easily be part of your home for decades. Philodendron is one of those plants that quietly proves how long a houseplant can really live without demanding much in return. Many indoor philodendrons have been documented living 30 to 50 years because they grow from durable stems that keep producing new growth instead of aging out quickly. This plant adapts incredibly well to indoor light, doing fine in medium to bright indirect light, and not panicking when conditions change. Its ability to tolerate inconsistent watering is a huge reason it lasts so long, since slightly thickened stems and roots help it manage moisture without stress. Philodendrons also grow at a steady pace indoors, which research shows reduces cellular burnout and long-term decline compared to fast-growing ornamentals. Older leaves may naturally drop over time, but the plant keeps renewing itself from active growth points. With stable indoor temperatures, basic feeding, and occasional trimming, philodendron does not fade after a few years. It keeps evolving and growing alongside you, making it one of the most reliable, long-lived houseplants for any indoor garden. Areca palms are often seen as decorative plants, but indoors they can actually live much longer than most people expect. In well-maintained indoor conditions, Areca palms commonly live 30 to 40 years, because they grow in slow renewing clumps rather than relying on a single short-lived stem. Each cane replaces itself gradually, which means the plant stays productive and healthy instead of aging all at once. They perform best in bright indirect light, but adapt well to average indoor lighting without shortening their lifespan. Their root system is efficient at managing moisture, helping them recover from occasional watering mistakes without long-term damage. Studies on indoor palms show that consistent temperatures and humidity slow down tissue breakdown, which is why Areca palms age more gracefully indoors than outdoors. With steady watering, occasional feeding, and enough space to grow, this palm does not decline quickly. It matures slowly and remains a lush, long-term presence that can easily stay part of your indoor garden for decades. Aloe is one of those plants that seem simple on the surface, but quietly lasts longer than most houseplants you bring home. Indoors, aloe plants commonly live 25 to 50 years because they grow from a resilient base that keeps producing new offsets instead of aging out as a single plant. Those thick fleshy leaves are designed to store water for long periods, which protects the plant from stress caused by mist watering and indoor dryness. Aloe thrives in bright indirect light, but also adapts well to sunny windows, making it easy to keep stable for years without constant adjustment. What really extends its lifespan is its slow and efficient growth cycle, since it does not waste energy on rapid foliage turnover. Research on succulents shows that plants with water-storing tissues experience less cellular damage over time, which helps explain aloe's longevity indoors. With good drainage, occasional feeding, and basic light, aloe does not decline after a few seasons. It keeps renewing itself and can stay part of your indoor garden for decades. Rubber plant is one of those indoor trees that truly earns its reputation for longevity when given consistent care. Indoors, a healthy rubber plant can live 40 years or more because it develops a thick woody trunk that strengthens with age instead of weakening. Its large glossy leaves are built to last, often staying on the plant for years before naturally shedding, which reduces constant energy loss. Rubber plants adapt well to indoor environments, thriving in bright, indirect light, while still tolerating medium light without shortening their lifespan. Their sturdy root system and waxy leaves help control moisture loss, allowing the plant to handle occasional watering mistakes without long-term stress. Research on ficus varieties shows that stable indoor temperatures slow aging and reduce shock-related decline, which plays a big role in how long this plant survives. With regular pruning, steady light, and simple watering habits, a rubber plant does not burn out quickly. It slowly matures into a long-living indoor companion that can stay with you for decades. Jade plant is famous for looking small and simple, while quietly living longer than most indoor plants you will ever own. Indoors, jade plants are known to live 40 to 70 years, and some family-kept plants have been passed down for generations because of how slowly and efficiently they grow. Their thick woody stems and fleshy leaves store water and energy, which protects the plant from stress caused by mist watering or dry indoor air. Jade thrives in bright light, but adapts well to sunny windowsills, where conditions stay consistent year after year. Its slow growth rate plays a major role in its long life, since it does not exhaust itself producing constant new growth. Studies on long-lived succulents show that plants with water-storing tissues experience less long-term cellular damage, helping them age gradually instead of declining suddenly. With good drainage, minimal watering, and stable light, a jade plant does not fade with time. It steadily matures into a long-term indoor plant that can stay part of your home for decades. Jade plant is one of the toughest, long-lived houseplants you can keep indoors, especially if you want something that survives real-life conditions. Indoors, Jade plants commonly live 30 to 50 years because they grow from thick underground rhizomes that store water and nutrients for long periods. This internal storage system protects the plant from drought stress and inconsistent care, which is one of the biggest reasons houseplants fail early. Jade plant handles low to medium light extremely well and still maintains steady growth, making it ideal for rooms that do not get strong sunlight. Its slow growth rate actually extends its lifespan, since it conserves energy instead of constantly pushing out new leaves. Research on rhizome-based plants shows they experience less structural aging over time, because growth comes from protected underground tissues. With minimal watering, stable indoor temperatures, and basic care, the Jade plant does not weaken after a few years. It stays structurally strong and continues growing slowly, making it one of the most reliable long-lived indoor plants you can own. Snake plant is one of those houseplants that almost refuses to die, which is exactly why it earns a spot on any longest-lived indoor plant list. Indoors, snake plants are known to live 40 to 75 years, largely because they grow from underground rhizomes that keep producing new leaves long after older ones age out. Those thick, upright leaves store moisture, allowing the plant to survive weeks without water and avoid stress that shortens lifespan in other plants. Snake plant adapts to almost any indoor light, from low light rooms to bright indirect light, without breaking down or slowing long-term growth. Its extremely slow growth rate plays a major role in its longevity, since it conserves energy instead of constantly replacing foliage. Studies on drought-tolerant plants show that species with strong internal storage systems experience less cellular damage over time. With minimal watering, stable indoor temperatures and basic care, snake plant does not decline with age. It quietly keeps growing and renewing itself for decades, making it one of the most durable and long-living houseplants you can own. Pothos is one of those plants that feels almost permanent once it settles into your home. Indoors, pothos plants are known to live 30 to 50 years, and sometimes longer, because they grow from strong trailing stems that keep producing new growth instead of aging out all at once. This plant adapts incredibly well to indoor light, thriving in everything from low-light corners to bright indirect light without stressing its system. Its roots are efficient at managing moisture, which allows pothos to handle missed waterings without long-term damage. What really helps extend its lifespan is its steady growth pattern, since it does not exhaust itself trying to grow fast or flower indoors. Research on vining houseplants shows that plants with continuous growth points renew tissue more effectively over time. With basic care, occasional trimming, and stable indoor conditions, pothos does not wear out after a few years. It keeps growing, trailing, and renewing itself, making it one of the most dependable long-lived houseplants for any indoor garden. Parlor Palm is a classic indoor plant that quietly proves how long a houseplant can last when it grows at its own steady pace. Indoors, parlor palms commonly live 40 years or more because they develop multiple slow-growing stems that renew the plant gradually instead of aging all at once. This palm evolved to grow under forest canopies, which is why it handles low to medium indoor light without stress or decline. Its narrow leaves lose moisture slowly, helping it tolerate occasional mist watering and dry indoor air better than many palms. What really supports its long life is its slow growth rate, since it conserves energy instead of constantly replacing foliage. Studies on shade-tolerant palms show that stable indoor temperatures reduce tissue breakdown and long-term stress. With consistent watering, moderate light, and minimal disturbance, the parlor palm does not fade over time. It matures gracefully and can remain a calm green presence in your indoor garden for decades. String of pearls may look delicate, but when it is grown the right way, it can actually live far longer than most trailing houseplants. Indoors, a healthy string of pearls can live 20 to 30 years because it grows from persistent stems that keep renewing themselves rather than dying off after one growth cycle. Those bead-like leaves are designed to store water, which protects the plant from drought stress and reduces the cellular damage that shortens lifespan in softer plants. It thrives in bright, indirect light and stays stable when light conditions remain consistent, which is key for long-term survival. Its slow to moderate growth rate helps extend its life, since it does not burn energy pushing constant new growth. Research on succulent vines shows that water-storing foliage significantly reduces long-term stress in indoor environments. With proper drainage, light watering, and steady light, string of pearls does not fade out quickly. It continues trailing and regenerating year after year, making it a surprisingly long-lived plant for indoor gardens. Cast iron plant earns its name by being one of the most durable and longest-lived houseplants you can grow indoors. In home environments, this plant is known to live 50 years or more because it grows from tough underground rhizomes that keep producing new leaves long after older ones wear out. It thrives in low to medium light, which reduces stress and prevents the rapid aging seen in plants that need intense sunlight. Its thick leathery leaves lose moisture slowly, allowing it to handle mist watering and dry indoor air without damage. What truly supports its longevity is its extremely slow growth rate, since the plant conserves energy instead of constantly replacing foliage. Research on rhizome-based plants shows they experience less structural decline over time because growth comes from protected underground systems. With minimal care, stable indoor temperatures, and basic watering, the cast iron plant does not decline with age. It steadily renews itself and remains strong for decades, making it one of the most reliable long-lived houseplants for any indoor garden. Haworthia is a small plant with a surprisingly long lifespan when grown indoors under stable conditions. Many Haworthia species are known to live 30 to 50 years because they grow from compact rosettes that slowly renew themselves instead of aging rapidly. Their thick, fleshy leaves store water efficiently, which protects the plant from drought stress and reduces the cellular damage that shortens life in softer succulents. Haworthia thrives in bright indirect light and even tolerates lower light without weakening over time. Its slow growth rate is one of the biggest reasons it lives so long, since it conserves energy instead of pushing constant new growth. Research on slow-growing succulents shows that steady indoor conditions significantly extend plant longevity by minimizing stress. With well-draining soil, light watering and stable temperatures, Haworthia does not burn out after a few seasons. It continues growing gradually and can stay part of your indoor garden for decades. Tree Philodendron is one of those indoor plants that grows into a true long-term presence, rather than a short-lived decoration. Indoors, a well-cared-for tree philodendron can live 40 to 60 years because it develops thick woody stems and a strong root system that continues renewing growth over time. Its large leaves are built to last, often remaining healthy for years before naturally aging, which helps the plant maintain structure instead of constantly replacing foliage. This plant adapts well to medium to bright indirect light, and does not suffer if conditions stay consistent rather than perfect. Its steady growth rate plays a major role in its longevity, since it conserves energy instead of exhausting itself with rapid growth. Research on large aroid houseplants shows that stable indoor temperatures and controlled watering significantly reduce stress-related aging. With occasional pruning, consistent light, and simple care, tree philodendron does not decline after a few years. It matures into a strong indoor plant that can easily grow with you for decades. If you want houseplants that feel permanent instead of temporary, these are the ones worth growing. These plants don't just survive indoors, they adapt, mature, and stay with you for decades when given basic care. Whether you want something tall, trailing, or compact, long-lived plants bring a sense of stability to your indoor space. The longer they grow, the more they become part of your daily life. If this list helped you choose plants that actually last, make sure to like the video, drop a comment with your favorite, and subscribe for more real-world indoor plant guides that grow with you over time.